To remain updated with the latest business news, click on the bell icon.
Okay, so here's a device you saw on the show last week, the Samsung Galaxy S21 Fan Edition. And I'll give you a 1-minute verdict or even under 30 seconds. Lightweight, looks good, feels like a flagship product. But I am confused. Yes, Samsung, I'm a little confused. And that's what this video is all about. You know, purely from a marketing standpoint, I think it's a very smart strategy to have a fan edition in the first place. Samsung launched the S20 FE, and that was quite a blockbuster release for them, a runaway success, quite a task cut out for the S21 to really up that game or level up. Now, the S21 does everything right in all the departments, and I'll get to that. But this whole niche created of a fan edition, what do the enthusiasts want? What do the fans want? Are we listening to our fans? This whole culture came in, I think, from companies like OnePlus, who said that they listened to fans and who are obsessed with customer feedback. Strangely enough, OnePlus seems to be going the other way, and companies like Samsung are innovating in this space and giving you flagship level specs or almost flagship level specs on a budget. And that is an interesting space to build on. You know, you must hand it to Samsung because the minute you unbox it, this feels like a device from 2016. And I'm saying that in a good way, and I'll tell you why. This is a device which essentially feels so light that you can easily carry it around with you. Sometimes when I'm carrying my iPhone or a big foldable device, it's not the easiest to pocket, it's not the easiest to carry. This travels really well, and the fact that it can give me top-end specs, well, that's a big plus. You know, looks and other things aside, something that really matters to me is the software experience. And I know I've criticized Samsung's OS before, but this one is a version of their software which is running on Android 12. Android 12 is what we waited for so long, which Google announced last year. And I'll tell you small things with your nitpicking which make this so interesting. Because if you actually click on the middle of the screen, hold it, and you go on the themes, how do you know that you're on Android 12? Because as soon as you click on wallpaper and style and go on the color palette, I can select, well, this green color palette and apply this palette to all app icons like I'm doing right now. And I see, well, everything has become that particular color. It takes the same theme, pretty much like a chameleon-like feature, which is very cool when you want to change things up and get some color and add some color to your lives. But that's about the software experience. There's all the right shortcuts, and of course you can also get rid of some of the apps that you don't want, but largely it's quite a clean software experience if you're okay with Samsung's interpretation of Android. I know there's a lot of green in our background, and I'm also wearing a green shirt, but this olive green is perhaps the most refreshing thing about my week. I am quite impressed with the colors as well, and this is a pleasant surprise. I would never be in the market and purchase this, but now that it's here in my hands, it's quite an interesting color as well. Moving on to the camera system, and it's quite a mighty camera system at that as well. This is very similar to the S21, its elder brother. Camera specs is something you're interested in. So this triple camera system actually consists of, well, a 12 megapixel primary camera with optical stabilization. Then of course you have a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, and you have a 32 megapixel selfie camera on the front which produces quite some interesting images. Then you also have the telephoto camera which is at the back. So if you're really looking for that macro camera which a lot of the flagships have, well, then this doesn't have that. You know, the primary sensor on the camera takes some good photos in daylight and decent ones in the night as well. I think the post-processing that Samsung does makes it quite a decent camera at this price point. But what's interesting is these very nifty software hacks. For instance, if you just switch on the selfie camera, it automatically knows when to zoom in and when to zoom out when it wants to get more people in the shot. And yeah, well, it takes quite a decent shot as well. If Samsung claims they're giving you a flagship experience, there is a pro and a con. I'll get to the pro first, which is the display. No one does displays better than Samsung, and they've proved it on this phone. On this particular device, they have a 6.4-inch AMOLED display, super vibrant, super punchy. This is perhaps one of the better displays I have seen throughout 2021 and now in 2022. A 120Hz peak refresh rate, Corning Gorilla Glass Victus for protection. The glass is largely flat, makes this kind of interesting to use and very easy to hold as well. And of course, it has an in-display fingerprint sensor and face recognition, which is the ways to unlock this phone. I personally thought that the fingerprint sensor is the best way to unlock this phone, and that is also a small compromise from the S21 because it's an optical one which comes in screen, but it does the job. Even the Face ID is quite decent. It's not an iPhone-like experience, but it's good enough. Look, the con that I was talking about was the fact that under the hood, this doesn't come with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 888, which is what a lot of the international variants would be shipping with, and that's why a lot of Indian Samsung fans end up buying their phones abroad. This comes with what Samsung's been putting in a lot of Indian phones, a very capable SoC or a processor, the Exynos 2100, which I think is good enough to get the job done, but will leave a lot of Samsung India fans disappointed yet again. Now, at the beginning of this video, I said I'm a little confused, and Samsung, here's why. Well, essentially, it's the timing of this launch and the price. Now, in terms of the timing of this launch, it comes just before the S22 is being launched, so won't a lot of people be waiting for that? And now when it comes to the price, that's left me even more bewildered. Now, the 128 gig version of this phone is available for around 55,000 and the 256 GB version is around 59,000. You get some cashbacks and discounts of 5,000 rupees, but even if I was to buy this phone for 50,000 rupees, the lower end variant, I'm pitting it against the Samsung Galaxy S21, which I would get for a few thousand rupees more, which is the original big boy. So am I supposed to go in for the Samsung Galaxy S21 or wait for the S22 or pick this up? And that's not all. The Samsung Galaxy S20 FE, which was the predecessor to this, is perhaps one of Samsung's most popular phones, and it's available for a massive discount as we speak on leading e-commerce portals. For around 35,000 rupees, you're getting a phone which is not largely different from this. So as I said, I am confused about this refreshing device.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.